bad before. Now we've gone to automatic. That's all we need to do. Okay. So this one is a little bit of the first one, but driving slow in the passing lane. Again, Gus is going to disagree with me on this. I don't want you to drive slow. I mean, I don't mind if you drive slow, is what I meant to say.
Okay. I was wondering where you were going there.
Yeah, I don't mind if they drive slow.
Okay.
But if you have 2 lanes, and one of them's for slow people, and one of them's for fast people, why are you in the fast lane if you're driving slow? You're just making your life more stressful. You're making everyone's life more stressful. Just be in the slow lane. No one will bother you in the slow lane. What do you think about that, Gus? You have any argument for that?
I've got no argument for it. Again, I just think all these people should be driving faster, but that's just my personal opinion.
Some people, they're stressed out in driving, so why get more stressed out? And the transport trucks. I'm sorry, transport drivers. There's probably a lot of you in St. Louis. I apologize to you guys. No one else do I apologize to, though. Why, if you're only going a kilometer faster than the other transport, why can't you just both drive in a line? It would cause a lot less accidents. There's always transport trucks flipped over. They would never flip over if they're in one lane. If you're just driving in a straight line, would you ever flip over?
No.
Gus, answer me that question. If you drive in a straight line down a road, would you ever flip over?
No, that's fair.
So how much time are you really gaining by passing a transport truck that's going a kilometer an hour faster, that's slower than you?
Well, I guess a couple minutes.
That is not acceptable. Not acceptable for flipped over cars and crushed cars, right?
All right. Go ahead. Next one.
That's it. So the minimum speed limit. Now, this is the one and only time you're going to hear on this podcast from me anyways, Jack.
I'm going to mention it more than once at some point.
No, this is the only time I'm going to mention this, probably on this podcast, that there is something that Quebec does better than us. So, we're not from the province of Quebec.
I thought we were going the opposite way. Sorry.
No. We're not from the province of Quebec.
No.
There's not a lot of things I like about Quebec.
Perfect.
But they post this little thing called minimum speeds.
Yeah.
So that's for those people. You know what? When we're talking about, I'm saying you don't have to drive over the speed limit. You still have to drive near the speed limit.
Yeah.
You can't drive 12 on a 100-kilometer-an-hour road.
No.
So in Ontario, that's not illegal.
No.
You can drive as slow as you want, anywhere you want. And unless they hit you with one of these dangerous driving tickets, which really, if you're driving 12 kilometers an hour, you're going to have a hard time proving that one in court.
Dangerous for other people, I guess.
Yeah, I guess dangerous for other people, but they should just slow down, really. But Quebec has done it right with this minimum speed limit. So that, again, I don't think we need to talk about that, guys. Do you want to say anything about that?
I would like their minimum speed limit to be raised a little bit. They got like a 60 and 100 as their 100 is their maximum, 60 is their minimum. I feel like that's too much of a gap.
Sure, but they're still better than us.
It's a step in the right direction. Let's just call it that.
Okay. I'll take that. Step in the right direction.
Perfect.
But they've done that step, and we have not.
It's true.
Nor have any of the other provinces either.
No, agreed.
We have provinces in Canada.
Not states.
As a side note to the Americans.
St. Louis State.
Only St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis State.
Missouri,
right? Missouri. St. Louis is not a state.
Oh, St. Louis State. That's already.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, St. Louis. As our fact of the week next week for St. Louis, we're going to explain that St. In a state. Okay, next one. This is a general one. So I'm just saying general road rules. So everyone in Canada, to get their license, have to take this really super easy test.
Super easy.
It's a learner's permit. You don't have to drive.
No.
You don't do anything because you're not allowed to drive at that point. You take this test where it's like, I don't know, 50 questions? 50?
Yeah, it's got to be around there.
Somewhere around 50. And these are like basically the most basic questions in the world. I remember the only one that I got wrong on this whole test, and the girl actually looked at me and said, what happens when two cars come to a stop sign at the same time? Which one gets to go first? Which one, Gus, gets to go first?
I actually don't know. I'm guessing it's the one.
What?
It's the one to the right.
Yes, the right of way.
Sorry.
The right of way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, again, it seems like an easy question, which it very much is. However, I put the one that is going faster.
What?
Because in my head, the one that was going faster got to the stop sign first.
Okay.
But that's not what the answer was, obviously. But anyways, digressing again. So, what we're saying is that there's just this basic test, and they're basic rules. It's not rocket science. of what you need to do. Okay. Then you need to take a G2 where you actually have to drive around and do these things. Again, basically, don't crash into anybody. Stop at stop signs, and you get your G2. Yeah. Basically is all you have to do.
Basically.
But on an everyday basis, I see every one of these rules broken.
Every single one.
Every single one of them. So, turn signals. This one just boggles my mind. Why would you not want to tell me that you're turning into my lane? Why? It literally is a split second, and you can't do it. Instead, you just merge over into me, and then we crash.
Don't most people just do that without thinking?
No, they don't. No. You would think, exactly. You would think that that's what they would do, but that's not what they do. No, they don't turn signal at all. They just drive over. And then they drive back over. And then they drive over again. So turn signals. So this one's going to sound stupid after my learner's permit thing I said. Okay. But four-way stops. This is a really bad problem in Canada that no one knows how a four-way stop works.
No.
So either everybody tries to go at the same time. Yeah. Or everybody stops and nobody moves. Which, Canada, we're a very friendly people. I don't know if you guys knew that down in St. Louis, but we're very friendly. Almost too friendly, I would say.
We're going to say way too friendly. I've sat at those stop signs looking at people and going, go, 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 and nobody wants to go.
Yeah. So, yes. No one knows the right of way. Again, it's called the right of way.
Again, I feel like that wasn't the point of it. But
that was exactly the point of it.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that's what they thought.
That is. All right. It's called the right, R-I-G-H-T, of way.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is the problem we have here. See, Gus doesn't know any of these rules.
No. Sorry.
Okay. So the last one of the general rules is, okay, guys, when you are at lights, so traffic lights, and you're turning left.
You're turning left, yeah.
What do you do?
Well, you wait
so
for
either
the
you
other
have,
people to go.
So we don't have I don't know in the States, do you guys have left turning signals at every light? We do not.
We have them some.
We have lots. We have tons.
I think it's a major intersection. I feel like that's the rule.
There's lots of them around.
Okay.
But if there's not one, you cannot treat that light as an advanced green. I don't know how many times I've been standing at in fact, now when I'm at the lights, I actually start inching forward.
Yeah.
When I'm going straight, because inevitably somebody tries to turn in front of you, even though you both have a green light.
So I feel like you're not explaining this right, Jack.
I am.
So for the listeners, for you to understand this, you will both be sitting at a red light. The person across from you is turning in front of you, and he will try to jump the light. So he's trying to time it so that when it turns green, he can turn immediately in front of you before you get going to go straight.
Yes. Basically, completely, once again, breaking the general laws of the road.
General laws of everything.
Yeah.
You're not you're literally putting your own life in danger by doing this, because I'm trying to go straight.
And we're friendly in Canada. In the States, they probably ram them and then shoot them.
I would agree.
That sounds maybe a little aggressive, but I'm just saying, in Canada, like, people let them, I think, so they keep going for it.
Oh, that is really frustrating.
We're going to move on.
Okay.
So, this is the little thing. I don't know if this is a saying for everybody, but what we call it in Canada is a looky-loo.
Okay.
So, what it is, have you ever heard this, Gus?
No, I've heard of the term. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to.
So, looky-loos.
Okay.
So, basically, there's many instances on the road where you do have to slow down. And that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. So, when you're going through a construction site, or there's been an accident, sometimes there's a need to slow down.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You should slow down if they're in your lane, if they're on your side of the road.
For safety.
Exactly. Not talking about that situation. What I am talking about is when you're on an 8-lane highway, and on the 7th lane on the other side of the road, there's an accident, and for some reason, your side of the road is moving slower. And so what that is everybody slowing down to look at the accident on the other side, usually causing an accident on this side of the road.
Obviously, because they're not looking forward.
That, and they're slowing down randomly in the middle of a highway again.
Oh, you're making me very angry, Jack.
Yes. So just just for everyone listening to this, because maybe there's some people listening from Canada. I don't think there's probably anybody listening to us from Canada, but I'm going to hope so.
I would hope so.
Nah, I don't even hope so. As long as we got St. Louis, I'm good.
All right.
But the looky-loo, please, if the accident or the construction is not on your side of the road, there's no need to slow down. You're not going to hit anybody. You're not going to jump over to the other side of the road because you're driving at a normal speed. Last one.
Okay.
Last one before we go to our top 3.
Perfect. What do you
General friendliness on the road. And this is coming from Canada, where we're friendly on the road.
Okay.
But here's some problems that we still have.
Yeah.
So, whenever you're a parking lot, this is usually in a parking lot. I'm going to say at a hockey game. You have a hockey team in St. Louis. We also have many hockey teams in Canada.
We do.
So, you're in a parking lot at a hockey game, and you're leaving for the night. We're all friends. We all went to see the hockey game. So,
we're not all friends.
We're all friends.
If somebody else in the other team's
We're
fans,
all hockey fans,
okay?
So, we've gone to the game. Everyone wants to go home. We understand that. Everybody wants to get out of the parking lot. So, how does it work? What is the general rule of friendliness? You let one person in, and then you go. Let one more person in, then they go, right?
Yeah.
You got to let one person in.
Okay.
Now, you could go too far with this. There's people that just stop and let hundreds of people in. I'm not saying that. But the general rule of thumb is that if you're driving and you guys are both going into the same lane because they're merging into the same lane, you let one person go.
Yeah, that seems correct. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay. We don't need to talk anymore about that. So the other one is, and this is one for Gus.
Oh no.
How close do you need to drive against somebody when you're driving on the road?
Well,
do you need to make everyone around you nervous, including the people in your car who think you're going to die at every second of the day?
I disagree with how close you think I drive. I only drive close when I'm trying to make a point to the driver in front of me.
Exactly. What point do you need to make?
That they are driving slow.
That you want to die? A fiery death?
No. That they are driving slow. I am fully in control.
Question.
Yes.
Have you ever ran into anybody on the back driving on the road?
Once. Twice.
Twice is too many. Twice is too many. You know how many times I've driven into the back of a car? Never. Right? Because you just don't drive close to the car and you're good. There's no need to drive that close. There's no excuse for ever driving that close.
I have many defenses against those two times, but I feel like no matter what,
no matter what, if you had been far enough away, you wouldn't have ran into the back of them.
I was stopped one time, but
yeah, okay.
You were in the car for that one.
Yeah, but you could have stopped farther back.
Oh.
Anyways, honking, just as a general rule, does not make anyone do anything faster. Basically, honking, I feel, again, Gus is going to disagree with me, honking should be a last resort. Right? Somebody's sleeping in their car and you need to wake them up. You give them a little honk. And there's no need for the long honk because that's not helping anybody.
Only honking when they've not noticed a light change.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like if they're in their car not paying attention, you just give them a little honk. They don't need a 6-minute long honk.
No.
And then you don't need to follow them and yell at them. Like that's not necessary. You're not helping anyone, right?
Makes me feel better.
Yeah, but you're not helping anyone. You're angrier and probably going to die a year earlier now. And the person in the car is just so stressed out because he already was falling asleep.
All right.
That's it. That's it.
I'm done. You got everything off your chest.
I think I did. I think I may have broken our mic. I'm looking back over our podcast that we recorded here, and there's a lot of high marks on this.
There's a lot of high marks.
Like there's a lot of ups and downs here. I apologize. This is going to be the angriest podcast I do. So everything after this is smooth sailing
until driving episode 2, which is
probably still driving episode 2,
which is going to happen at some point.
Which will be the next time I drive with Gus.
That's fair. All right. Well, that was enjoyable for me. Besides the insults on my driving skills. But now let's do our top 3, and as it's going to have to be quick because Jack took all our time.
Sorry.
Let's get in quick.
So for this week's top 3, we're going to be doing favorite car movies of all time. So, advance warning to everyone. Gus's selection in movies is not what you would call very classy. I'm going to say very classy.
Well, episode 1 was it that we did